I mean, like everyone's probably asking, what am I drinking here? You know, this is I drink cha. I mean, I'm from Yuba,
Course.
right? I'm from the band. We drink cha. We don't drink coffee here. I drink cha. I go to work and I drink cha. You know, Godero was like, "Oh, what are you drinking, bro? Like, oh, you know, like how's the coffee?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, this is cha. I drink cha every morning." So I mean, I'll start. I'll start off. My name is Simran. I'm from Yuba City. Um, I also went to medical school in India. So I've lived. You know, I've lived. I was living out in Banur. Shout out to Banur. But you know, that's if for people who don't know, you know, that's near. It's right in the middle of Rajpura and Chandigarh. So I lived in the Pind, and you know, Yuba City is the Pind. You know, so again, you know, we wanted to just start a talk about Punjabi music because grown up in a place where we are lucky to, you know, be able to listen to good artists. I mean, we have a annual Mila here in Yuba City where we've seen a lot of good artists, and yeah, I just want to just start something and talk. So yeah, Amrin, you want to start or?
All right, well, I'm Amrin, from San Jose, born and raised, lived in the Bay my whole life throughout college. Shout out West Valley, shout out Santa Clara. Um, Growing up in NorCal, there's a lot of Punjabis up here, in the Bay, but even more so in Yuba. So, you know, I'm sure there's an audience that wants to hear stuff about Punjabi music, and that's what we're hoping to bring to the people. So, yeah, we're excited. Just gonna see where it goes. Finally, it's one of those things that you talk about doing for so long, and then a lot of times it doesn't end up happening, and it's pretty exciting that we're actually like pulling the trigger and making it happen. So I'm excited. Yeah, like that was kind of hit on who we are, where we're from. I mean, personally, my experience with Punjabi music, I didn't really listening to it growing up. I'm 23, so obviously still very young. But when I was like a teenager and stuff, growing up in San Jose, there's a lot of Punjabis here, but specifically where I grew up, not a ton. So I didn't really grow up around Punjabi music per se, but I would say within the last like 3 4 years, like playing baseball, a lot of my teammates. Obviously, there's not a lot of Punjabi baseball players, so the culture was very different in the groups that I was growing up with and hanging out with. So within the last like 3 4 years, I kind of started to like get more in touch with my roots, so to speak. Um, and I wanted to just kind of see what it was all about. And I think obviously the first artist, Simmer, you put me on him in 2017. I still remember we were driving back from like a wedding or something, and you put on Sidhu in the car, and I was like, damn, this is sick because it was like I always thought of Punjabi music as like super fobby, like it's not cool. But then I realized that there's like this like hip hop vibe with Punjabi music that's authentic and that's real, and that's what kind of got it going for me. And from there I discovered like some of the songs of my childhood, like Bindrakia and Jazzy B, and then getting into the more current artists. That's why I'm so excited for this podcast, because like I still feel like I have so much to learn about the music and about the culture and the industry. And I know Simran obviously has way more knowledge about both the folk, the classics, and as well as the current scene as well. So I'm just excited to, again, you put me on from the very beginning, and I'm just excited that you even put me on rap. Everything that I listen to now is like Simran put me on. So I'm just excited to keep discovering new things and then have some conversations and learn some more. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm lucky that I live in Yuba City. You know, some people might take a shot at it because you know it might be like the band. There's too many you know brown people here, but man, we lucky. We get to listen to. We drive down. You know, you drive down. Where we? I remember I was out near like Food Max, and somebody was bumping like Miss Pooja. You know, you probably don't get that in other cities. You know, like that's
No.
we lucky for that. And I that's what I love about Yuba. We have the culture, you know, it's a Punjabi experience every day, you know. That's like one that's I'd say that's like why it's like really uh important.
Well, it's
I don't even
cool.
know.
Like the like culture that I grew up in, like I said, like it was very different from yours, right? Like Yuba is like one of a kind type of city. Like whenever I go there, like it's completely different from San Jose. Like obviously there's Punjabis here, but when you go to Yuba, you feel like it's almost like you're in Punjab. Because like the culture is different. Like people there are just so much more like open and like real and passionate about the culture, and there's more people there, so they feel comfortable,
It's
like you
easier.
said, just
It's
bumping the
easier.
music. Yeah,
It's way, yeah, it's easier when you have people around you that, grow up and you're Punjabi, your friends are listening to the same music, you're gonna listen to the same music, you're gonna have like more of like that camaraderie, it's like being a sports fan, if you're a Niner fan
yeah,
and you go and you have other Niner fans that are your friends, you guys are like bigger fans,
yeah,
like that's why we're like super close because we're, both
yeah,
Niner fans. So
yeah,
it's like being like almost like a sports team. It's a, camaraderie, I don't know if I'm
yeah.
saying
It's
that right. But
the
yeah,
culture. Yeah,
yeah. But I mean, yeah, basically, uh hopefully, with this podcast, we have a so much you know, again, like we've had a Midla here, that actually my dad and a bunch of his buddies put on. And, I've seen, I saw Jazzy B perform here. I don't know if that was his first performance in the United States, but I've seen Jazzy B countless times. I've seen like Diljit. I think just recently we had Jasmine Sandler. We've seen some big artists, and because we're lucky, I want to like, yeah, just talk about it. And again, I want to make Punjabi music more global. It's already pretty global. Sidhu Moosewala, I think, really blew it up, and now Diljit, how he's work collaborating with a lot of different artists. Like he's jumping into the Latin music scene, which is pretty dope. But yeah, I want to globalize Punjabi music, and that's like the point of the podcast. And Amrin is he's younger generation. We're like, what are we? Uh, we're 10 years
10
apart.
years
Yeah,
apart.
10 years
Yeah,
apart. Yeah.
2000. Yeah,
So I mean, like, yeah,
yeah,
that was a gap. In '90s, I grew up listening to all the old guys, or like I would say the OGs, right? Even had I was a kid and I got lucky. I got to meet Bindraki, and I got to meet another great like Shaukat Ali. So I want to, yeah, again, just bring Punjabi music and grow. I want to grow too. Like this is hopefully we get some listeners. So we want our listeners to, we want our listeners to like, like give us input, give us feedback. What do you guys want to look into? Yeah. We will definitely, as we grow in with episodes, we'll bring in older interviews and you know collections we have of uh like Punjabi artists. And I mean that's for something to see as we go on. But yeah, it's just like a something.
it's so exciting to like you mentioned, like growing the music, because it's so exciting to see Punjabi music kind of enter the mainstream. Like when you see like Diljit or Sidhu or people like collabing with like mainstream, like Western or English,
I think it's
artists,
Western.
like
It's
rappers.
Western
Yeah, I
art.
think
That's what
Western would be the term. Yeah,
because we live in the United States, seeing a like seeing a collab with Western is kind of like, oh, like that's it's we I mean we don't live in Punjab, so we don't hear Punjabi music like on TV and stuff, right? We're gonna be hearing that Western media. So like it's
yeah,
nice to see a collab. So again, we want Punjabi music to become global. I mean, it is
yeah.
global already, but how it is.
Yeah, just to grow it and support the artists too, obviously. Like that's another thing that we're hoping to do. We got a lot of stuff and a lot of ideas for this podcast. There's so many things that we could talk about. We're just gonna, hit on as much as we can. And one of the things that I'm excited for is the potential to bring some guests on, some whoever it might be, whether it's like an artist or a producer or DJ or even like an instrument player, just anyone that's involved in the music, the industry, the culture, like just hearing different people's point of views, different people's perspectives on their experiences too. um
Yeah,
and
no,
yeah, like
definitely.
we have so much stuff to talk about, like
I mean, there's so
you know
much to talk about Punjab music
yeah,
because
yeah,
I was just listening to I mean, like again, we're talking about like anyone who produced is about Punjab music. I was just listening to Diljit's or a remix by DK Music, you know, and that's
Mm,
another guy who he's nowadays people are producing music, right, you know, a lone producer is making
mhm.
music, and that's super cool. Like another
Yeah,
guy like Josh Sidhu makes a lot of
yeah,
Sidhu Musiala songs.
yeah,
Pretty sick. But I mean, the culture itself is ancient, right? So there's
yeah,
so I mean, we could dive into anything. I mean,
yeah.
obviously we will go episode by episode, and I think our next episode we'll maybe do something about, I mean, 2023, you know, because I mean,
Yeah,
we're here recording at the end of 2023. So here, you know, we'll talk about, you know, what happened over 2023. Yeah, like
yeah.
hopefully we we'll definitely have potential guests, but yeah, thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. You know, whatever you're doing, hopefully, you know, you're driving, or, you know, you're hanging out.
Working out or
If
hanging
you're
out.
watching our
Yeah,
video, I mean, like that's a
that's
props. That's
super
probably
fan.
that's
Yeah,
I mean, like first video, it's probably only family watching it, but you know, like heart,
yeah,
like props to the family. You know, we love you
yeah,
guys.
yeah. Shout out to the family for pushing us to actually make this happen. So yeah,
Yeah,
whoever you are watching it, thank you for the support, and yeah, we can't wait to grow and to learn and just keep it going. It's exciting.
definitely, definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.